So I just picked up this Masterbuilt Pro Series electric smoker. We're going to do a quick unboxing, show you how to get it assembled, get it cleaned and seasoned, ready for you to smoke. Alright, so this is what the unit looks like once you get it out of the box and unwrapped. We've got 2 vents on top on this model, and these wires here are for the electric controller. This model also has the Bluetooth Wi-Fi hookup to it, so I'm anxious to give that a try out too. But we'll do that in another video when I review it. Extension cord back there, and I'll show you the parts that came in the box. Alright, so this is basically what you're getting when you open everything up. You've got your 4 stainless steel racks. This is your meat probe, which this model has. Not all models come with that. This is your wood chip bin where you hold the wood chips. This is how you insert your wood chips when you're smoking, and we'll go over that later. This is your rear drip pan. This is your interior water bowl slash drip pan. This is your electronic controller here, as you can see, with Bluetooth. This is your bottom drip pan. These are the screws you need to put things together. This particular model came with legs, and they do have wheels on it, which is nice because I am a taller person, so to get that thing up off the ground is a big plus. So let's first start by putting the legs on. Here we go. Alright, so I've got the smoker laid on its back. Obviously the legs go here. This model, it has wheels only in the back, so you can tilt it and roll it. So when you're assembling it, make sure the wheels go in the back. You will need a 17 millimeter and a 10 millimeter socket or wrench, whatever you prefer, to install everything. Also a Phillips head screwdriver. So I'm going to get these legs put on, and we'll come right back. So just a quick note, when you're putting the legs on, it does have these crossbars to help support it. There's 4, 2 in the front, 2 on the side. Before you tighten anything down tight, like these legs, anything, put it all together, make sure it all lines up, and then tighten it up. Because if something isn't twisted just right or aligned, you're going to end up having to loosen it up and redoing it all. So keep all the nuts and bolts loose, and you should be good. Alright, so we got the legs on. It was pretty painless, easy to do. I will say this, you know, if you buy a desk and you have to put it together or something like that, and you have that pack of screws, the same thing came with this. The difference is they don't give you any extra. So while you're putting this together, make sure you don't lose any, because there are no extras. I was surprised to see that. You usually get 1 or 2 of each extra. Not the case here. So when you're putting these together, make sure you don't lose any, or else you'll be heading to the hardware store. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put on the handle to roll it and the digital pad up top. So installing the keypad or controller, you can see here we have 3 wires coming out of the machine and 3 wires coming out of the controller. Now each are different size. You have a 5-pin, a 4-pin, and a 2-pin. So you can tell that you're not going to make a mistake putting it in. Hopefully. Let's see. Just like that. Now, as far as mounting it, you'll see the 2 holes here. It has a screw here that you insert in and push forward to lock it down. I will tell you, one of my screws was missing, so luckily I had a collection of screws, so I was able to put that in there. Let's see how it sits. I could probably go in a little more. Just so we have a good snug fit. Actually, I think we can go in a little more. Make sure these wires are tucked up in there. Boom, just like that. And then there's 2 screws on the back to mount it in to finish it up. And then, as I was saying, you got the 2 screw holes here. Just twist those in like so. Now we'll move on to the handle. And here, just finishing up, there's 4 screws. Remember to leave them loose until you get them all started, and then you can tighten everything up. Handle's installed, we're good to wheel it around. Alright, so now we've got everything basically assembled. Got the control panel there, the handle, and the legs. The legs are really important to me because I'm a bigger guy, so to have it stand up off the ground a little bit just makes it a little easier. Like I said, if we can see here, there's the rear wheels. So you just use the handle there, tilt it back, and slide it around. So we get in the inside. This model I've bought has the glass door on it. We won't need that. Take that off. And this is the locking mechanism here. Can be adjusted. This feels a little loose. I may tighten it up a little bit. But this is what you've got in the inside. Took everything out of it, obviously. There's your heating coil down there. The next thing we're going to want to do is clean all of this area out. Wipe it down, soap and water, just to get any chemical or dirt, especially the styrofoam. See little pieces of styrofoam, we don't want that in there. So we're going to do that and get it cleaned up. We'll go from there. Okay, so I got done wiping the inside down, getting all the styrofoam and that out, even all the parts I wiped down. The next thing we're going to want to do is take all of the parts, everything that came with the machine, put them in place where they're going to go. And this is part of the cleaning process. What this is, although we've wiped everything down, and after I did, the cloth was pretty dirty. It was quite dirty. So there's a lot of chemicals, residue in there that we want to get out. And this is what part of this is. The cleaning process, we're going to put everything in, and we're going to turn it up to 275 and just let it sit there and heat up, and that will burn all of the chemicals, grease, anything that's left inside of there. It'll burn it off. Then after 2 hours and 15 minutes, we're going to add the wood chips, which is the seasoning part. But it's very important that you do this before you cook anything in there. I don't know what kind of chemicals they used in the manufacturing process, what they used to clean, assemble, but you want to burn all of that off real good before you cook in it, because these things could be toxic, poison. You don't want to be mixing your food in with that. So I'm going to show you where everything goes in here, and then we'll get it fired up. Alright, so this model came with a meat probe, which is handy to have. We're going to put that in. That'll plug in right back here on the control panel. And I'm going to do this before I put anything else in, just because I don't want anything to be in the way. So we've got it plugged in there. And you take the probe end, stick it right in here, and they'll go get it from the inside. Alright, so we're on the inside. The probe got caught in these grates. We'll pull that through like so. And if you look here, there's a handy dandy probe holder. So when you're not using it, you can just stick it there. Nice. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to wait until I get the grates in before I put that on. So we've got this. These are all the parts here. I'll show you how that goes. Let me get this out of the way. This is your wood chip pan. And that's going to go right in this holder on top of the heating coil. Just like so. And down here at the bottom you have your drip pan. You'll notice the hole, make sure that goes to the back. And that just goes right on the bottom. You can see here you got little legs that tilt it to the back, so anything drains, there's a drain hole, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Anything that drains will head towards the back and out of the machine. It's not going to matter too much now because we're not cooking anything, but again, just put everything in place. This is your water pan here. Oops. Just like that. See, there's a max fill line. This will also catch grease in that falls down too. Now we've got 4 racks. If you get this model that I have, you'll see there's one rack that's different than the other. That one goes up top here like so. And if you're putting these in, it's kind of hard to see, but if you can see there, see how the back is raised up just a little bit? It goes up on an angle throughout the whole back. You're going to want to put that in the back. And what that does is when you slide out, you can see there it catches it on the groove, so the shelves won't come flying out. Now I think we're safe to put the probe in. We'll put that in its holder there. Get the third drawer. Slide that in. Let's get that from back here. And the fourth drawer goes right above the water pan, just like that. So as far as the inside, we are all set with that. All right, something cool with the Masterbuilt is, see this little hole for the wood tray? They have a patented refill system, so you can actually refill the wood chips without having to open the door and mess around with that. And this is what it looks like. You put the wood chips in there, stick it in there like so, and boom, it dumps into the wood chip holder. So that's a nice thing. One of the reasons why I bought this particular model is for that. But one more thing to put on, and that is the rear drip pan. And that simply, see there, you got the holders there, and simply slide it like that, and there you go. And as I was talking earlier, that's the drain hole from the inside. Remember the pan, the drip pan inside? Said face the hole to the back, that's where it comes out of. Okay, so right now we're good to go. Get the smoker plugged in and get it cleaned and seasoned up. Alright, so we are ready to go here. Got it plugged in. Want to check and make sure our lock is good, seal looks good. When you're doing this, make sure your vents are opened up all the way. You want to get all that bad stuff out of there before we smoke. And the screen is very, very, very hard to see. And I'm guessing you guys probably can't even see that because I can barely see it. So what we want to do is hit the temperature button. And take it up to 275 and hit the temperature button again. Timer, we got 3 hours, hit that again. So timer's counting down. Right now I'm showing 81 degrees in there. So at 2 hours and 15 minutes, we'll come back in and throw the wood chips in. So the smoker's been on for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I first started it up, took about a half hour to get up to temp. When it did, you can see the smoke coming out of the vents on top. Real bad smell, chemical type smell. So that's why you're doing this. That's why you're burning off all the chemical and dirt, grease, whatever that's in there. For the seasoning, we're going to do now, I'm adding some mesquite wood chips. Doesn't matter what kind you add for the first time. This is just what I chose. Obviously, you're probably going to be using different kinds of wood chips, different flavors. This is just what I went with. So I'm going to show you how to load it into the patented wood tray here, and we'll get going with the seasoning. Alright, so with the wood tray filler, it's turned upside down, it won't come out. It's turned right side up, and there you go right there. That's the area you put your wood chips in. Now, obviously this is hot, so be careful how you handle it and what you do with it. Set it on the ground here for a minute. Add a little bit more. Want to make sure we get a good burn on that. And you just slide it in, maybe. Like so. Turn it, and the chips dump out. It's stuck right now. Empty for the most part. One little left in there. So we'll give it 15 minutes or so on this, and it'll be seasoned. Alright, so our 3 hours are up. I just opened my back door, and oh man, that smell. It smelled good. I'm going to give you a look at what it's going to look like. The timer did shut off. It doesn't appear that the unit itself shut off. It may have. Temperature looks like it's going down a little bit. So I'll show you what it looks like after we're done cleaning and seasoning. Alright, just at a first glance, you see that window that was clear. It's now a little smoky. So let's open this up. Take a look inside. Oh boy, that smells awesome. If only there was some meat in there. So obviously, once you clean it and season it, it's very obvious to see the smoke on the door, but even the walls have that certain coloration to it. So once you've done this, you are ready to start smoking some food. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to putting some meat in there and smoking it for the first time. I do want to do a review on how the smoker actually worked. I did set up the Bluetooth to it, but I'm going to go over that in the review because this is more of just a setup type video. So look for the review of the smoker coming up soon, hopefully. And if you liked what you saw, hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.